stand for that flag. Alright, this is how to set up a window ledge. Alright, you want your gap from the bottom of your window ledge here, okay, your window, down to here. You want just over 2.5 because your windowsill, which is, your windowsill right here is 2.5 inches. Okay, so you want to go maybe an 1/8 bigger, room for expansion. Okay, the other thing you need to do, now if you notice I have these cut short from here, this piece of wood here, if I had a measuring tape, I could show you exactly how I did it, because what you have to do is you want to allow for your expansion. So you see I went 2 3/4. Damn it. Anyway, I went 2 3/4, as you can see. Alright. That gives me a 1/4 inch. You really only need an 1/8 of an inch is what Nova Brik recommends. I went 2 3/4. But you could go, what is it, 2 5/8. So, anyway, yeah, I went to, you can go 2 5/8. And the reason you want to cut this short like this is because when you set the window ledge in there, all right, now also you want to screw each one of these ledges here, because once you go up from here, the piece that fits above here, you won't be able to put any screws in. So they recommend 2 screws in each one of these bottom ones, the last ones that you can screw. They recommend 2 screws in each one, so you know, well, this is held tight. And anyway, when you set your it's heavy. So anyway, when you set your window ledge on there, you want it angled downward. I mean, you could do it like, yay, I have it a little bit more of an angle because the back of the house really gets nailed with rain sometimes, pretty heavy. And but anyway, so when you cut your next brick, it'll be up against there, so you can raise it up a little bit if you need to. But anyway, you definitely want your windowsill angled downward, obviously, because you don't want the water to go towards the window. You want it to go completely away from the wall. Now that may be a little excessive. I'm not really sure how much of an angle. You could even do it, you know, like, yay. The 1/8 of an inch would make a difference. I'll adjust it when I cut my next brick. But anyway, so make sure that you cut, like you can see, this one here is going to be a full brick notched. And the same thing over on this side, okay? So you have to take, so anyway, so this brick here, obviously when you put this one in, they're going to wind up getting glued in. So you could actually take, get the wire out of the way. Anyway, you can actually slide this one in. A little hard to do with one hand. But anyway, slide it in, get it where you need it, mark it, and then cut it. But anyway, I'll get a shot of it after I get it cut. Alright, you can see how that fits on there. This piece here is going to be like 13, it's only going here 13.5. There's a trim piece that goes on here, but I'm bending it out of coil for around the whole window, because I think it looks better than the window channel that they sell. So what I'm going to do is I have the ledge obviously sit in there, the sill. Now if you want to get fancy, you could center this and use 2 so your seam is dead center on the window. I'm not really too concerned about that. What I may do with this is I may shoot, I could use all construction adhesive, but anyway, you want to use construction adhesive. I'm going to really gob it in there good, so when I set this, I know it's going to stick to this piece of wood, it's going to stick to the foam, it's going to stick to the wood. Another way to do it, if you got enough of a gap, would be to use a window and door expandifoam, because it expands but not heavily. So it would still force this up against the window ledge, so you'd still be good. And so you can see how how nice that fits in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut each one of these. I still got another screw to put here. I got to drill another hole for this one. But anyway, you can see, that's at a slight angle, which is what you want. Now, what I would recommend is when you cut these pieces of brick here, better to have them a little bit too tall than not, because you can always go back to your saw and trim a little bit more. And that's what I'm going to do. If I have to make, 2 or 3 trips per piece to the saw, that's what I'm going to do so it looks good. Because you want it tight, because you don't want yellow jackets getting in there and making, wasps. You don't want them damn yellow jackets getting up in here and making a nest. So I'm going to get all those cut. Then I'm going to lay, because you got to use construction adhesive to hold these top pieces in, obviously, also, because you're not going to be able to hold them in any other way, so you got to use construction adhesive. So I'm going to clean these surfaces with a wire brush, so I got a good clean surface. And but anyway, I'll show you after the fact. And you can see it's looking pretty good. I have it ran basically up to the top of the window. So you can see it's looking pretty good. Now what I did here is, because this window has to get moved because of the closet I built inside. So anyway, I ordered a new window because this one's falling apart, or that one's falling apart, but I'm going to use a sash off of this one to fix that one. So anyway, this window's getting moved over to here, to the edge of this wood here. So let's say 6 month, 8 month lead time or whatever the hell, lumber shortage, China virus, lack of workers. So anyway, that's why I went ahead and finished this where I need to. So I know the window's going to come over to here. This part I'm not going to touch. I'm going to wait until I have the window set before I run any of this brick. So I'm at a standstill here. I'm going to go ahead and run this all the way up to the top up there. I got to pull the security cameras down, and I'm going to run the wires for the security camera behind the brick, because obviously you have gaps between your firing strips, so you can run the wires. So anyway, I'll get us out of the windowsill after it's in. Alright, I'm going to do the rest of the window ledge. Now what I'm going to do now, because you got to use construction adhesive down on the window ledge. I'll lower the camera in a minute. I'm using landscape adhesive designed for the elements. This happens to be Loctite. I bought a few cases of it when I did my retaining wall around the side of the house there. So anyway, just happens to be what I use. And I'm sure, you can use, I'm hoping it's not too old. It should still be pliable. There we go. Starting to dry out a little bit. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a wire brush. All right, I'm going to take my window ledge, windowsill, and I'm just going to brush it. Okay, get it nice and clean. I'm sure you can see that. Whether or not you really need to do this, that's entirely up to you. I just want to make sure, because you get any kind of dust on there. Everybody knows caulking does not hold the dust very well. So anyway, I'm just going to clean the surfaces real good. Then you can see all the dust and crap coming off of it. There we go. And you can also, where your two ends butt together, you could put a little adhesive in there, or if you have caulk, you could put a little bead of caulk on there, so when you shove them together, you're not going to get any water leaks. I'm not really too concerned about that, because obviously I'm not going to caulk anything yet. that can be done after the fact. And these are a little bit heavy. Well, not super heavy. So anyway, I'm going to do the same thing. Loosen this if you can see them. God, I hate these LCD screens, people. Can't see them where they're shit. Okay. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. I think you can see that pretty good. Same thing. I'm not really too concerned about the foam board or the wood, because that's generally clean. What I want to clean is I just want to get all of the Nova brick, clean, because obviously you're going to be sitting on there. And you can see all the dust coming off of it from where I drilled my holes. I still got to put a screw in there. Especially these face bricks here, the small ones you have to cut, because I'll zoom in, but there's a big gap behind it. So I'm going to put a really seriously heavy bead of adhesive. You could get away with just putting adhesive along here and leave the gap, but like I say, I have plenty of adhesive, so I'm not too concerned about it. All right. And it'd be a good idea to cut all these first if you want. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to load this baby up with I'm just going to load it up with adhesive, because I want to get the window ledges set. The rain keeps coming and going. So, if I can find the caulking gun, which is right here. Yeah, it's not coming out real good. It's stuff is getting old. I know it's still pliable because I can still squeeze this. So, anyway, if I do not have enough luck, then what I may have to do is film this at a later date. Yeah, this stuff is too dried out. Yeah, see, it's not even tacky. Yeah. So, I'll have to film that at a later date. You can see how hard I'm pulling on it. It's distorting the caulking gun. Yeah, it's too dried out. Yeah, that won't even hold. Yeah. I'm sticking it on the brick now. It's holding a little bit, but it's not, yeah, it's not going to work out. So I'll have to buy some new stuff. This is too dried out. It's too old. It's probably 3 years old, if not more. I thought the center, because I had quite a bit of give in the center. Yeah, it's screwed. So okay, we'll cut this and then I'll have to get some new stuff. You know, the sun is in a perfect spot to where it's right in my eyes when I'm trying to zoom in. Alrighty, that looks pretty good there. I'm thinking, right? Alright. Anyway, you can see I put a shitload of adhesive in there. I don't know if you can see or not. Yeah, I think you can see, right? Yeah, you can see that I really loaded it up. Can't have too much. So anyway, I'm going to set the rest of the window sill. And I have it cut somewhere. Oh! It's amazing how heavy these things are. And then I need to brush it if I could find the brush. But the brush fell. So that means I'm going to have to pause it again. Nope, I won't. Okay, you can see that, well, maybe you can't. Then just make sure it's clean. Nice clean surface. Get your really good adhesive. I'm not worried about this end here, you know, where I cut it. I'm not too concerned. Yes, there is some dampness still on this from where I cut it, but I'm not too concerned about it because for the most part it's dry. Now I cut this to be pretty much tight. Alrighty, so there we go. Not sure what I'm hitting. Then what I do is I use a rubber mallet. Alright, for some reason I seem to be hitting something here. It's not going in all the way. I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, there's nothing there that I'm hitting. Could be wall's crooked, who knows. You know, and then by tapping it in place, I'm not really sure why. Well, these aren't exactly straight across either. Some ends are wider than it's just like same as the brick. So by hitting it with a rubber mallet, you know you've got a good contact surface. You can even tap down on it if you want. And then I'll cut all these bottom pieces, slip those in, and use contact adhesive on there. And you can see how simple it is. There we go. Make sure it's level. I'll cut a couple of pieces. I still got a little bit of time, you know, to adjust this because I want it like perfectly level. And that's it. Very simple. And that's how you install a windowsill. Just remember, cut down 2 5/8 inches from the bottom of your window down, because you want to leave, these are 2 1/2, you want to leave at least 1/8 of an inch gap for adjustment. And that's it. I'm going to go cut these pieces real quick and get those put in before this here adhesive dries, because I want this to be perfectly level, which actually it is. And that's it. So you can see it's simple, it looks good. If you want to make sure everything is good, you can measure out from here. And we're way off. This side here is like 4 3/4. So the window, when I set the window, who knows, the wall could have been crooked, board, could be anything, but we're off a little bit. But if you measure these, you know, you're, I could see right here, this end sticking out further than this, just like some of the bricks. Like, I don't know if you can see this one from the camera, this one sticks out a little bit further. But anyway, that's pretty much it. So it's very simple to do. And it looks good. I'll get those other pieces cut. And get those put in real quick, and then I'll get a finished shot. And there you go. A windowsill. You can see it turned out really nice. Looks good. And that's that. So it's actually pretty simple to do. Your measurements are the biggest thing. You know, if you're a little tall, just shave off a little bit more. Better to, you know, because you could always shave some off, but you can't put it back on. Some of the discoloration, because some of the bricks are still, you know, damp. But anyway, there you go. That's how you do it. And so anyway, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, don't give me a thumbs up. Doesn't matter. But anyway, I just appreciate anybody watching my videos. I'm up to 92 subscribers. I'm up to 48,000 some odd views. So I'm almost up to 49,000 views with only 92 subscribers. So that's pretty good. So anyway, there you go. And I'll probably put the windowsill separately from the rest of this, so I don't have, you don't have it too long. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, hit the little B in the bottom right hand corner. hit the notification bell to let you know every time I upload a video. And I just appreciate anybody watching my videos.